How's it going, everybody? I see a couple people get in the room. Andrew, Teresa, Chandler, Jennifer, Chris, Charlana. I'm so happy to be here and actually be able to talk to you guys tonight. Typically, we do this type of stuff in person, but you guys are all at home tonight. We're going to get to spend this time together. I thank you so much for setting aside about 45 minutes to an hour to spend with me to learn how we can really take control of your health. So I'm going to pull up a little bit of housekeeping. That way I can get everybody on the same page. I want to make sure every single person gets the absolute most out of this experience. So let me pull up my slideshow. Oops, let me get it to the beginning slide for everybody. Oh, man, I'm not going to need it here. Okay, I'm going to share my screen with everyone. And here we go. All right. So everyone can maximize this experience. What we're going to go through tonight, number one, get comfortable because we're going to spend some time together. I really want to have a conversation with you. I'm in no rush to get out of here, so please plan for that 35, 45 minutes, maybe a little longer. I'm going to be here to answer questions for everyone because you took your time to learn this information. I want to make sure every single one of you walks away knowing how important this is and how you can really take control of your life. Because whether it was stress, health, or the hormones part that caught your eye, you're here tonight. So I want to make this an amazing experience for you. So on the right-hand side, you're going to see a chat box. And you can see in the chat, Jessica is excited to be here. I'm excited to be here. Chris is also excited. Who else is excited to be here tonight? And please let me know where you're from. I am from New England, from Maine, and ventured my way out here to California. And I want to see where everyone else is from. Charlana is from Anza, California. One thing I'm going to say, in the chat, please be patient with me. There's a little bit of a lag. It's roughly about 30 seconds. So I want every single one of you to use the chat box because we do these webinars all the time. And the people that get the most out of it get that when they interact. Because just like when you're learning in school, you got to ask questions, you got to interact and be an active participant. All right. So we're seeing more people from San Diego, Phoenix, Corona, California. Andrew, how's it going? Teresa, Valerie from California. Who else? Kristen from Phoenix. Valerie Renault, where are you from? I got hi, hello. So Ontario, awesome. So you have a good group of people from all over the place. And the awesome part about doing these webinars, I know we're living in some crazy times right now, but let's just be thankful we can be together right now. And we're going to really empower everyone so we can move forward in the right direction. So just be patient with me. On the chat box, there's a little bit of a delay, but I want everyone to interact. And if I move forward on the slide, that's not permission to not answer the question. So please interact so you can get the absolute most out of this. Next thing, check your audio connection. Make sure you can hear me and make sure I can hear you. I guess I don't need to hear you. But make sure everything is coming through amazingly. Sue, hello. Maria, hello. And lastly, be open-minded. We're here to do something different. Every single one of you logged on tonight because something compelled you, something isn't right. And I want to, number one, hopefully find out some of that and get to know everyone a little bit, but I want to show you and educate you on exactly how we can do something very different. So from this slide forward, let's have an open mind, all right? So what we're going to talk about tonight is a lifestyle-based approach to making permanent change in your life. And I'm going to teach every single one of you how important these little pillars are at the bottom. So fitness, nutrition, detox, mentoring, and hormones. And if you can have control over those 4 factors and have someone who's been there before mentor and coach you through this process, you can do anything you want. So this is our Fix family. Like I said, I'm Dr. Sam Wag with Fix Body Group. I work with this picture as a big undersell because we have a large team of incredibly passionate providers, and we consider everyone as family. And you'll see the little quote, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And that's really how we look at healthcare. We have to do it as a team. And we're really here to try to restore and put the caring back into healthcare. And I really want to show everyone why that's so important tonight. So what are we going to cover? Well, the first thing is going to be a new approach to your health. I want to make sure you understand how we can do that. And then I'm going to talk about America's healthcare crisis. And I'm not talking about pandemics. I'm talking about something that's been going on for a long time, and it's not okay. It's not okay with me. That's why I'm here. And I think a lot of us will be in the same boat, I hope, by the end of this, and that we can all try to stimulate some change. We're going to talk about using food as medicine and making sure what we put in our body is providing us with nutrients, is providing us with what we need so we can grow and repair our body and be happy and healthy and have energy and not be reliant on medications. I'm going to talk about calming your immunity. So how we can stop these internal fires that you have, that your immune system is busy fighting all the time and it's fatigued, so it can't fight the bigger battles. We need to make sure that you can, okay? We're going to talk about balancing your hormones. I'm going to teach you how important it is to have control of your hormones because they dictate every single thing. Our mood, our energy, how we can put on muscle or lose fat, or every single thing that we want to do. It can globally control the tension of our entire body like that. So we have to have control. We're going to talk about, most importantly, stimulating change in your body. Keep that open mind. So we're going to go through how we have to use every single piece of this to make these changes. Lastly, I'm going to talk about proactively living your life. As I finish this slide, because there's going to be a little bit of a lag, put in the chat box who so far thinks this is going to be information worthwhile and they're excited to be here with me. So I'm going to make it fun with you guys. And we have to have a blueprint for a change. We need to have a plan. I said that there are 5 pillars, and I'm going to educate every single one of you of how we put those together into a plan and make change. But tonight, I can only go through a blueprint because I need to know you individually so I can make a plan. And I'm going to go through that blueprint today. Awesome. I'm very excited to learn about the subject. Thank you, Shirley. Charlana, Sue. I've been told it's a stubborn way, maybe due to hormonal imbalance. Is that true? We're definitely going to talk about that. I need help. I'm very excited. It will definitely be worthwhile. Awesome. I'm so happy that all of you are ready because maybe you've got this text before. We need to have a serious conversation. Well, you guys are all home right now, so let's have that conversation. Serious face, okay? What do we need to talk about? We're going to talk about America's healthcare crisis. And like I said, it's not about a pandemic. I'm talking about something that's been going on for a while. I'm going to read this quote from Medicare. Care that seeks to prevent disease, promote health, and prolong and enhance the quality of life is not considered medically necessary. Who thinks that is the person that should be in charge of keeping you alive? Because maybe you're not Medicare age, and maybe you are Medicare age and you have Medicare and you do use it or don't use it. Let me tell you something. Medicare is the master insurance. It's based off of every insurance, I should say, has to cater to Medicare's guidelines. They set those guidelines. So if I were to break down that quote into the actual, what that's coming across is they do not see value in paying for things or educating in a way where we can prevent disease and we can work on prolonging our lives and increasing our health. With that being said, we have the best critical care in the world. There's nowhere else I would rather be if I needed some type of care. And I've had a lot of it. And I've had 5 or 6 surgeries. I've broken over 10 bones. I've been experienced with our critical care, and I'm fortunate to know some amazing providers. But unfortunately, that's not how we spend most of our time and money and how we're using our system. So the next part we're going to talk about is what is creating some of that crisis. So the food that we eat, some of our inactivity, our inflammation. So I want to read a quick quote. Let's see if I can move my face. Or I'll let you guys read that. This is from Wendy. I'm just going to pull out a part. She worked with me, and this is someone who is now in such a better place in her life after working with our team and getting to understand the truth of how she can make change. And right in the middle, I think she said, this is everything I didn't know I needed. Because once she understood that she could be in charge of her life, it's kind of like teaching someone to fly a plane. You can go anywhere and do anything. And once you know how to fly it, you can be in control. And that's what Wendy got. She reclaimed that control of her life. So let's talk about America's healthcare crisis. What does that number represent? Does anyone know or want to guess what 3.5 trillion represents for America? Go ahead and answer that in the chat box. I'm going to keep moving forward. Leanne, don't worry. We're going to get past the healthcare system, but I need to highlight what's going on right now. So that number, that 3.5 trillion, that's what we spend annually on healthcare. That's a lot of money. What's this next number? 90%. Anyone guess what that represents? Well, 90% of that money goes towards the top 5 chronic healthcare conditions. So that doesn't seem right. How can we spend so much money with 90% of it going towards only 5 things? What is that? What's our research getting us? What's our the new interventions? Are we trying different things? How is that working, right? And the costs keep going up. So why are we paying more to get less? What does 70% mean? That 70% is, unfortunately, the deaths that happen are all from those top 5 chronic healthcare conditions. So when I say chronic healthcare conditions, these are diseases that we can take control of. So that's the exciting part. What does 12% mean? These numbers keep going down. You think it'd be better. 12% is the amount of Americans that are metabolically fit. So that means not just exterior, what you look like, but if we look at these hormones, if we see the actual function of the heart, liver, and all of your organs, 12% are metabolically fit. I'm not okay with that. Who is frustrated by hearing some of these numbers and kind of surprised that this is the state of our healthcare? Because to me, this is unacceptable. It's unacceptable costs and they're unacceptable outcomes. And we, our company, Fixed Body Group, we refuse to be part of this broken system and broken model. So we want to talk about how we can make some change here. You may see a couple of quotes here that you've heard before. Everyone gets sad sometimes. It's all about calories in and calories out. Just eat less and work out more. Surgery is your only option. So has any of you heard one of those phrases before? I don't know personally exactly what we're all dealing with, but maybe one of those is fit. And that's not right information. And that can be really frustrating if you're trying to make a change in your life. So how many of you are here because you want to make that change and maybe you're frustrated right now? Does that sound like you? Let me know if it is. Charlana, yes. Chris, yes. Shirley, yes. Sue, yes, this is shocking. This is frustrating, right? So when we look at these medications, I'm going to ask a question. Answer this in the chat box. Does a medication treat your disease, or does it treat your symptoms? Go ahead and answer that in the chat box. Catalina, very frustrated. Kristen, calories in, calories out does not work. That's 100% true, and I'm going to explain why. So I want to see what you guys think on that. Sometimes. Sorry, we're working with a lag. Yep, it treats the symptoms, Andrew, Valerie, Sue, Chris. All right, we're on the same page here. Oh, Teresa, everyone. So yes, it treats our symptoms, right? Because we have to take it every day. If it treated our disease, when we took it, it'd be gone. I'm not telling you to get off your medication right now by any means. I'm here to educate on what we can do different, okay? Because everyone is in a very different place. And yes, there are some medications that are doing things very different. But for the most part, the money that we just talked about goes towards a lot of these more like palliative type medicines that are trying to reduce symptoms. So we really want to see how we can get to the bottom of this and not just chase symptoms, but find the root cause. So if we look at this once beautiful rose, what's everyone's first thought on maybe bringing this back to health? What should we do? Where would we start making this a beautiful rose that we could deliver to someone and have them feel good about it? What would we do? So what are some things? Let me know in the chat box what you think. Water, Caitlin. Perfect. Water, Sue. That's what everyone's thinking, right? We should put some water on that lovely rose. Why did no one say we should give it medication? Why was that not our first thought? Because that kind of seems like it's our first thought when it's our body, right? We could use water too, right? If you don't feel so good, maybe you've had a headache, maybe you didn't sleep well, maybe you're feeling kind of sluggish, we could maybe add some water, and that would probably help. What else could we do? Well, we could give it some sun. We could change the soil, right? We can make sure it has the right nutrients so it could actually grow. I mean, we couldn't just put it in nothing and have it grow. That wouldn't work. We have to make sure it has the right nutrients, just like us. We can't give our body crap and expect amazing. Doesn't make sense at all. What about the climate? Is this rose meant to be in that climate? We can't really tell from the picture, but if we put that in Antarctica, is it gonna just bloom and be awesome compared to somewhere else, like beautiful Maine, or wherever you're from? So in Phoenix, is that gonna grow? Yeah, it probably will. What about the nutrition? We talked about that with the soil, but what are you feeding it? Is it getting some food that it can use to grow? So why is this so simple, but it is not how we think about our health? The first question that a lot of Americans ask is, what medical condition do I have? And what drug do I need to take? So we want to flip that, because I believe that we all have a purpose. And I'm going to say boldly that the most important thing is your health. Because regardless of what you value most in this world, I'm sure that's friends, family, loved ones, whatever that is, you have to be alive to enjoy it. So we all have a purpose. In the chat box, we've noticed some frustration. Why is that? Is it because we have the wrong information, or we don't have enough information? What do you think? Is it wrong, or is it lacking information? Let me know in the chat box. That's right, Shirley. Self-care first and then take care of others. We have to make sure we're alive before you can give anything, right? Exactly. Sue, more water, nutrients. So, is it wrong or lacking? It's lacking, right? Andrew, lacking. Shirley, lacking. We're lacking the information. Yeah, both. It is both. Because we're kind of drowning in information, right? We're information overload. but we're starving to have that plan and to have that concise way to get to where we want to be, to make those changes in our life and to stimulate that change. You have to have the right information, or else you're going to be really frustrated, because no one likes to be told something incorrect, and no one wants to be frustrated. And I'm sure how many of you have spent time in the gym and not got the results you wanted, or with a different diet and not got the results you wanted, or with a different medication that you were told to make all the changes and you didn't get that change that you wanted. So is it because it's wrong information, or are we lacking? Well, a big part of our healthcare and the things that we hear, a lot of it's marketing, not health advice. And we have to separate that sometimes. So this next slide, you'll see the results today. Like, what do we typically tell people, right? We want to, I want to switch. There we go. If you saw this device, maybe you were sold on just by exercising like that and bending, you would lose fat. Because when you see the models, that seems to be the case, right? It's a simple, well, they did that, they look like this, that seems to make sense. But what are we leaving out? We don't know what that person eats, probably not this. We don't know what their sleep is like. We don't know what their hormones are like. And every single one of us is human. Well, we're definitely all human, I think. But all of us is individual, and we're all different. So that may work for someone, but not everyone. So when we look at this, some people might get kind of grossed out with the food, but that's where we have to start. Let's talk about the diet and what we put in. So a lot of this food, what does that create? Inflammation. And that is not right because we are fighting internally. Your immune system is now battling what all those foods cause. You'll notice, I'll kind of flip back and forth. There's fried food here, a lot of it. What does fried food do? Well, it creates inflammation in your body for 2 to 3 days. Did you know that a cigarette only creates inflammation for 48 hours? What's worse? Eating every day. If you have that inflammation, I'll use this example. I'm sure how many of you have kids? Let me know in the chat box. If you have kids, maybe you go through a drive-through every once in a while, and say on a Monday, you go through that drive-through and you just have a little handful of fries. And that fried food, regardless the amount, regardless the type, if it's fried, creates that 2 to 3 day inflammation period. So now, on Thursday, you just came down from the inflammation, and then you have maybe it's a pretty good salad, but there's some fried onion petals on it. Now you're back to 2 to 3 more days. And then when it gets to maybe Saturday, you felt like you ate really good through the week. So we're going to reward ourselves with this fried chicken sandwich from our favorite place. Well, now what happens? 2 to 3 days more. So we never broke that cycle, okay? And we need to. We need to get out of that inflammation. So I'm going to teach you how we can. Because if we look at this next picture, the food pyramid, that information, if we ate 40% of our diet came from those bottom things, those are really refined processed foods. So that hits our system just like sugar does. It's really sugar in disguise. Look on the top, you see some of those candies. I have a drink of water, sorry. You'll see a lot of the candy. But how come all the fats up there are really like a bad rap? There's not a good oil or avocado or really good bacon. There's a lot of good fats, and our body needs fat. Cholesterol is super important. That's what coats our cells, and we need that to have all the interactions in our body. So if you guys are just tuning in, and a few more people pop in, we're going through these 5 pillars of health right now, and this is where we're really I'm going to teach you how to control your fitness, your nutrition, your detox, the mentoring. So we went through the fitness component and how there's a lot of misinformation there. But our office can teach you exactly how to stimulate that change. And I'm not asking you to spend days and hours and hours and hours in the gym. I'm asking you to change your mindset, to think of it more like flossing and a part of your hygiene. We have to create some exercise, not just to build muscle, not just to lose fat, but for our mood, for our appetite, for our sleep, for everything. It's super important. This changes how your hormones are balanced. So you might surmise or guess now is all 4 or 5 of these things are heavily tied together. We need each one. We're going to talk about 3 different types of stress here. How many of you have ever been stressed out? Stephanie, 4 kids. Have you ever been stressed out? Andrew, 3. Catalina, 4. So I'm guessing most of you have been stressed at some time. Well, there's 3 different types of stress, and we need to be aware of each one. The first on that left-hand side, that's physical. So that may be from injuries. That may be this direct impact. It might be something chronic that builds up over time. I'm seeing the answers come in just now. So yes, frustrated. Yes, yes, yes. Everyone has been frustrated at some point. I was frustrated several times just in this day. But we need to know how to control that. On the physical aspect, if our body has been damaged and we never do any type of rehab, it doesn't go away. I know that pain goes away. Like I said, I've experienced many injuries throughout my life, but without doing the rehab, I never had the same function as I did before. And we're here to get people back to doing what they love, stronger than they were previously, in a better place than where you found us. So what's that next one? Chemical. I talked about fried food and how that can affect your gut and your internal organs and how that creates this inflammation that makes your body fight you. We don't want your insides fighting you at all. The opposite. So what is next to that? Not food, but you see the chemicals. So this can be on our foods, in our crops. This could be in the air, just like that. I grew up in a small town that had a paper mill. I can't say that that's probably great to breathe in all the time when I'm running, when I was training for sports. I would prefer pure, clean air. But we can't always change that. But we can control the things that we put in ourselves. And we can be aware of the times that maybe we're in a bad space. And maybe that has to do with where you choose to live. And that's super important because you're going to be taking that in all the time. You wouldn't live in a house that has mold and just breathe that in when you sleep at night. It's terrible. What's the last one? Emotion. We know that when we get stressed out, or I think we all know this, that you've heard or maybe you're familiar with a fight or flight response. When that's a more primitive response, right? If we saw a lion, it preps our body so we can either run away and live or we can fight it, okay? So that is not meant to happen all the time in our life. We're not supposed to live in the stress state. With food, this is also, like we just said, with the chemicals and what goes into our body, we have to have food that we eat to sustain life, provide energy, and promote growth and repair of our tissues. So in the chat box, do you think a muffin is the same exact is the same exact caloric, like value to your body as maybe a bowl of kale? And we'll say it's the same exact amount of calories. What do you think does more for you? Because remember, we need to have food that can change our body by repairing the tissues. We need to have food that is nutrient dense. We need to have food that provides us with this change, okay? So as these answers come in, look at, maybe you've seen some of these body types before. And I'm going to actually go back because now all your answers are in. I want to answer them. Kale and spinach. And we're probably putting a little dressing on it even. Kale, of course. Everyone, that's an obvious choice, right? Because what does that donut or that muffin do? Or the croissant or whatever that is, that really carbohydrate thing. Is it energy? Yeah, a little bit. But that leads to a bit of a crash. And it doesn't lead to anything productive as far as the sense of repairing our tissues. let's back up and say we are what we eat. We all agreed on the rose example, right? When that rose is taking in good sun, when it's eating good nutrients, when it's taking in good water, when it's in the right climate, it thrives. So we need to put the right materials in our body, because if you want to be awesome, you got to be built with awesome. So let's make the right choices in our food, and we can educate you exactly how to do that. We do that by having you actually learn and be involved in knowing exactly what is going into your body, and learning about carbohydrates, about fats, about how to go to the grocery store, about how to go through the aisles and make the right decisions. Because every single decision that you make in your life is either prolonging it or shortening it. Some decisions by millimeters, some by miles. I can't be with you every single day. We can't spend every night on a webinar. I wouldn't mind it, honestly. But you have to know. Just like I said about Wendy, learning to fly the plane, she knows how to fly the plane now. And she goes and does whatever she goes wherever she wants and does whatever she wants, because she has that control to make a change in her body. I know I said that she was down 9 pounds. I think it was the first 6 days. She's down over 30 pounds now. This program isn't about weight loss. It's about creating the right internal environment for your body to make the changes that it's fully capable of. And maybe some of you have seen these body types before. Let me know in the chat box if you've ever seen one of these body types. It's kind of weird that they're fairly common. So how does this happen? This happens from a couple of different things. On the left, that's estrogen. When our estrogen isn't balanced, when our body isn't using estrogen correctly, it leads to this kind of fat accumulation around the thighs and around the glutes, around the backside. What about this adrenal one, the next one to the right, where the stomach is really pushed out? And this is those adrenals, that glands on top of your liver. I'm trying to air quotes, trying to make a triangle. That's what it looks like. Those get stressed from the way that we are putting the stress into our body, those autoimmune responses. Okay. What about the thyroid? Look at that's more like this even keel distribution, and that's not fair for that person. And if anyone has ever had a thyroid condition, they've probably been extremely frustrated by being told they just need to eat something different, exercise, blah, 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 and not having any change or taking a medication. And that is not right for any of us to have these bodies. We don't have to. And if you're here right now, and I am in no way trying to put anyone down, but if you're here because you're frustrated, I want to let you know that we can change. Whatever reason brought you here tonight, it's not too late to make that change, and we're going to take that first step right now. So the hormones reminds me of Chris. Chris is one of my coworkers. And that picture on the left, you can see the picture on the left and then him in the middle on the right-hand side. You can tell he's not a huge person. He's, by most thoughts, traditionally pretty healthy, right? He's skinny. He had no complaints exteriorly. But when you ask him what's going on, he's like, I have abdominal cramps, diarrhea, fever, chills, fatigue, dehydration. Why is this? Why is Chris not thriving rose? Because we're not giving him, and he wasn't not giving him. I wasn't holding it back. I didn't know Chris yet until he met us. So now that Chris is taking control of his life, look at that Chris on the bottom. I'm going to tell you something right now. Life lives in your eyes. Look at the eyes on the left. Look at him on the bottom. Is he living life? Go ahead and put in the chat box if anyone thinks he might be. Chris is actually in there. So I'm excited to see what he says. But I know this guy is living his life. He has fully taken control, and he's going wherever he wants in his plane. Because we got control of these hormones. We didn't just guess, we tested. So instead of Chris being told a million different things by a million different people and really getting frustrated, we checked these things, right? I know my face is like kind of covering that top corner. I'm sorry. I've tried to switch it back like 6 times unsuccessfully. But if you look on the left, those are fat storing hormones. And on the right, it's fat burning. Go ahead in the chat box and let me know which ones you want. And I am going to wait until we get answers on this one. Clear my throat. Chris has not been to the VA in over a year because of the changes that he's made in his life. Funny thing is, Chris did a program a year ago, so that's cool. Fat burning. Sue says, who else? What do we think? Fat storing or fat burning? Got one for fat burning. Fat burning, Shelly. All right, so Jessica, I want fat burning. Andrew going for the adrenaline. He wants the fat burning, wants the adrenaline. Don't we need them all? Great question, Charlana. Yes, we do. We have to have all of them. Our body is the most intricately designed piece of equipment that there ever has been. And there's over about more than 600 hormones in our body. And every single one of them is in control of very specific processes. Because if you don't have insulin, you're going to be diabetic. If you don't have estrogen, you're not going to really, your mood's going to be all over the place. Males have to have estrogen just as much. Cortisol, it gets a really bad rap, but we still need it. It's actually really important for inflammation. It's super important for sleep. We want to have growth hormones. We want to have adrenaline. We want to have testosterone. Teresa was a good question. How, as women, do we get more testosterone? Well, we have to look and see where we're at, because we could test, right? And you could be within this range. And I'm glad Teresa asked this, because we'll talk about it right now. Taking testosterone as an example, the normative range is about 250 to 800. So if you go into your primary physician and you had a blood test, right? And they look at the hormones, and they were to tell you, I'm speaking in because I can't make my face smaller. If they were to tell you that, hey, you're in the normal range, don't worry about it. But what if you're 251? In functional medicine, do you know what the normative functional range that they want is? They want you to be at 650. So do you think a male at 650 is the same male as 251? Not at all. They're very different people. And we can't just dump in testosterone. We have to stimulate that change the correct way so that these other hormones stay balanced. And we can teach you exactly how to do that through the use of a correct diet, by using the correct supplements. And I say supplements because it's supplemental to our diet. It is not something that we should be on for our whole life, but is to stimulate the change until we get the actual nutrition from the diet. And food is medicine. So until we get to that point and bridge that gap, what do you expect? So we use the supplements to get us there, to help stimulate that change, okay? So when I showed Chris, why did Chris make a change? And he can go ahead and write this in the chat box, but he did it because he left his excuses and his ego at the door. He was done living in insanity, doing the same thing to not get changes. And it was time to make a change. And I said in the very beginning, I know a lot of you are frustrated, and I want to show you how to make that change. And we've gone through a lot of these pieces and how important each piece is. So you make a choice right now to continue on the path that you've been on, maybe make a little tweak. I know some people may say, I just need to recommit to the gym or recommit to my diet or recommit to some certain thing. But if you're frustrated right now, today, let's rethink and commit to something different. But with that choice, the last pillar, I'll never ask you to make this journey and change alone. Because you have to have a mentor. Just like everything in sports, we have coaches. In life, we have coaches. In business, we have coaches. We need to have a coach when we're trying to make a change. And we need to have someone that's been there before, that's had success, that can guide you. That is not me with a random man who I'm squeezing very tightly on the thigh. That's my father. And I love him to death. And I can tell you right now that me and my dad butted heads for a lot of my life because my dad wanted me to have a good life. Not an easy life and not be my friend all the time. But because he taught me so many things of how to take ownership of my life, and he led me down the right path and helped me avoid bad decisions so that he could make my life a lot easier life than he had. And I believe that we all need to make life better for others. And that's my passion and why I'm here. My background, education, my doctorate is in chiropractic. Before that, I had a bachelor's in exercise science. Before that, I was a Division I athlete. Before that, I played sports. Before that, I was always getting hurt. My dad was there with me for every single time and every single step. But I say all those steps because my passion was helping others get better. Because I was sidelined from life a lot of times. Sorry. And I hate for anyone to experience that, because if you've been sidelined from life, I use that as a sports analogy, but if you're unable to do something that you want to do, that is the whole reason that you are here and staying alive. I think it was Shelley said, take care of yourself and serve others. A lot of you mentioned you have kids. You want to be there for your kids, right? This is my grandfather. Sorry. This is the first time I share this story, and I usually am harassed for never having emotions. But this is my grandfather, my dad's dad. He's a legend. But we're all going to be legends. But you can be good or bad. And I want to make sure, because we all have the choice and the opportunity to write our own eulogy every single day that we're alive. So if I can just teach you how to make the right decisions, and I can teach you how to make those right choices and just win the day every time and have a lot more days. And that's what I want for all of you. Let's brighten the mood a little, because you want to be around. That's me on the left. That's my best friend of 30 years, my other brother. That's my dad. You want to be able to surprise your son with 30 pounds of lobster from Maine that you brought as your carry-on and told everybody, don't worry about it, when they're looking at his stuff. You want to interact with your kids. You want to be there with them, and you want to do everything and be there to see them go forward and take all the lessons that you've given them and live this awesome life. So we've kind of gone through a lot of puzzle pieces right now, and I want to summarize how we can take each one of these pieces and put them together and make a really beautiful picture. I planned on, so everyone knows, I prefer to be right face to face. I can't switch back from this, and I know this is a really busy slide. If you want us to look at me, that's fine. Detox. We talked about that. We talked about the stresses that are put on ourselves because of the food that we take in, the chemical, the physical, and especially in that chemical part, how that affects our body. So maybe before you're frustrated because you only change your diet, but you've never gone through a detox, and your organs, your liver, your gut, 80% of your immune system lives in your gut. So if that has been getting poor nutrition your whole life, and now we're giving it premium fuel, what's that engine like? It's not great. We need to change that engine. And detoxing, it's not just drinking water for a year or having going on some crazy, there's a lot of crazy cleanses. I'm sure you could all Google right now and find some weird stuff. It isn't about that. It's a systematic way of identifying the foods that are creating this autoimmune response. It's giving your organs rest so that they can heal. Your body is incredibly skilled at healing when it has the right environment, when it has the right tools, when it has the right nutrients. But we have to change the machinery. You've got to detox. You have to have the right nutrition. Everyone agreed on that. Andrew was even offering to add spinach to the kale. We were having some good food. You got to ditch the donuts. I'm not saying there isn't a time ever in your life to enjoy some treats, because there is. And I'll educate you exactly how you can do that, and you can fit them into your life without it being a detriment, without it sliding that timeline, okay? Because the next one is that fitness. And I don't want you to be frustrated with that either, because a lot of you have been frustrated with nutrition before. You've been frustrated with that fitness because maybe you're working your ass off and you haven't seen a change because you don't have the right plan, or someone hasn't told you the right things, and you're drowning in all this information because people are just trying to sell you on these results and their equipment and all this stuff. And it has to be personalized for you. Because if you go into the gym and you look at someone with this amazing physique and you just do their same exact routine that day, you do everything with them, you don't know that that routine they did that day got them to that body. That could be their off day. So we have to make it customized and specific to you. Every single one of us is different. Those hormones, they control everything. That's the kind of master control panel. But we need to be detoxed. I said 80% of our immune system lives in our gut, right? Right? I don't know, I just told you. It does. And if those organs don't work correctly, they're not going to release the hormones the way that they should. So that detox is a lot more important than people think. 80% of your immune system, you're really going to mess with that and have that be inflamed and pissed off all the time and think it's going to help you. You can't do that anymore. It's time to not do that. And it's time to stop being frustrated. And that's why you work with a mentor and you work with someone who's made changes. He might look at me and say, oh, I'm sure this guy's never had to lose weight or do anything. I've weighed as little as 140 pounds and as much as 225 pounds. And did that by choice, because I was able to stimulate change in my body. I put on muscle, I removed muscle. Or sometimes I did get one girlfriend say I had a trucker belly once. I guess the abs got a little soft. So we have to know how to make the changes and how we can use the tools that I've talked about today and put them together into a customized plan to make those changes. But just like my father, this amazing service for me by being and telling me what I needed to hear and not what I wanted to hear, and helping me avoid pitfalls. You need to have someone that can help you avoid those. So let's put all of the pieces of that puzzle together and make an awesome picture. I don't know what you want your picture to be. I have a great sense of how a lot of you are feeling right now, but I don't know how every single one of you got to this point, or why you maybe clicked on our ad and why you're spending this hour with me. But I know that you want to be alive. Pretty sure. So we need to take this blueprint that I just went through of nutrition and detox and fitness and hormones and having a mentor and working with a team and being with that fixed family. So we can do this together, because making change isn't easy. But it can be done, and we can make it fun, and we can make that journey something that's exciting for you. And I want to say that it can be easy, because when you know every one of those things, the only hard part is just changing your mindset. And I think every single one of you kept that open mind. We didn't have one person leave this webinar, so I hope that every single one of you is ready to make that mental shift and be open to trying something new. Sue asked how much our program is. I'm going to get into that in a second. So if you tell me, you might forget. If you teach me, then you remember. Involve me, and I learn. So every single one of you, you have been involved. All of you have shared how you feel. You've shared your stories with me a little bit. I've got to know some of you have kids, what you guys like to eat, what the frustrations are. But I need to get to know you a little more so I can make a custom plan for you so you can join our family. Because you saw me get a little emotional. I have a massive passion for this, and I wouldn't have moved to the exact opposite corner of where my entire family was if I wasn't following a calling and I wasn't following other people that are just as passionate as me. Because we can go fast alone, but we can go far together. So a journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. I'm going to let all of you know in the best way that I can what those steps are. The very first thing that we do is we set up a call for you and I to speak together one-to-one. I prefer to FaceTime if we can, so I can get to see you. I can meet you virtually. If you're in San Diego or in Scottsdale, Arizona, we can do that in person. It won't be me in Scottsdale, sorry. But we do this program virtually all over the world. And it is so rewarding to get to help people. And when we get on that phone call, what we're going to do, we call it a discovery call. And we're going to discuss what you've done in the past to try to make changes in your life. I'm going to get to learn exactly what those frustrations are. And then I'm going to tell you more about me and about our team and about our program. And I want to learn that picture that you want to make. So we can get those right pieces together and we can start to build our puzzle. Because it's fun to have fun. So if you're ready to make these changes and you want to talk with me and see what we can do, I can learn your story. The next step costs you no money at all. I would never charge anyone to spend time with me if I couldn't help them. So I want to get to know you and what's going on. And whether or not you decide to move forward and if this is the right fit or it isn't, just making that phone call, you join the Fix family. And you're forever have me as a reference. I'll give you my personal cell phone. I'll give you my email. And you'll have my work phone. So if you ever need help, I'm not going anywhere. But for those of you that are ready right now, I have a few time slots available still this week. When you go on this website, calendly.com/fixbodygroup/call, Patrick, my business partner, is going to go ahead and put that in the chat box so that you guys can click that. If not, and you go ahead and put that in your browser, that's going to take you directly to my schedule, and you'll be able to pick a time that works for you so that we can help each other. Because you're feeling my passion even more. And I want to help you not be frustrated anymore. So I hope that every single one of you found this information tonight informative. It was helpful. It was a good spend of an hour. You chose me over a lot of other things that you can do. Maybe you chose me over spending a little bit of time with your family. I want to make sure that time's well worth it and that you can spend way more time with your family because of it. So as we ride off into this sunset, I know a lot of you are going to be going with me to take that ride. So that is the end of my presentation. Thank every single one of you for interacting in the chat, for being a part of this, and for taking time to get to know me, to get to know our office, and to get to know a different way that you could live your life. I know some people have budgeted to be here for 30, 45 minutes, an hour, and they have to take off. That's totally fine. I don't have to. So if you have questions, send them to me. You can send those questions directly to the chat as either a private message or public. You have that ability. I'm going to answer 3 questions right now that a lot of people may have. Number 1, that I did answer. Our program can be done virtually anywhere in the world. And you are not getting any less of an experience no matter where you do this. I promise you that. I told you I wouldn't have moved all the way across the country if I didn't work with a team of amazing individuals. We're going to make sure you have the best experience possible. And I will bend over backwards. That's literally why I learned about the spine, so that I can help you more. Number 2, do we accept insurance? We talked a lot about insurance, and I told you I'm not willing to be a part of a broken system. And this is an investment that you're going to make into your life so that you can continue to live your life. And we're not going to do that through insurance. If you have to get some lab tests done or some diagnostics as we go forward and your insurance covers it, that's totally fine. I would love to use it for labs and exams, and we can do that. It depends on you individually. We have to look at your insurance anyways to see if there's any type of benefit we could use. But our programs are cash. I don't mean that as like actual paper cash, but we do not use insurance on the plans. And how do we make these plans? Sorry, I guess I could finally turn this. Oh, lost me for a second. So how do we make these plans, right? There we go. Sorry, guys. How do we make the plans? How do we do this as far as the payment? I have 3 options on these plans. For people that are paying in full, we have a little bit of a discount because that takes a lot of stress off of everyone. The finances are done. You just get to focus on you and the journey and moving forward. That's all off the table. We're all on the same page. You never have to pay for anything additional again. We're just moving forward. So you can pay that in full. We can do 3 even installments, or we offer financing. So don't let finance stand in the way of your health, because you can't take it with you. You have to be alive. So at least spend 0 money and see if I can help you to start. The 3rd one is, what was the 3rd one? Honestly, those are my big 2. So now, if you have additional questions, go ahead and put them in the chat box, and I'm going to hang out for a little while and try to answer these. I'm catching up on a couple of them. Sue asked about the finance options, and yes, we do. Sue also booked a call, so I'm going to get to talk with her tomorrow so we can make a plan. I can't wait to do that and speak with you. Thank you for moving forward. Shirley, thank you for allowing me to be very honest. Charlona, I want to share this with my mom and sister. Is there a replay? Yes. Charlona, if you can put email in the chat box or send me a direct message with your email, I'll make sure that you get it so that you can share this information with any friend or family member. If anyone else wants to do that same thing, please do the same. Send a private message or go ahead and put your email on the bottom. Maybe you made a friend during this. I couldn't keep up with all the talking. I was doing a little bit of talking on my own. So I hope some of you got to know each other a little bit. Maybe you want to share that email publicly so that you guys can stay in touch. Because joining the family and working together is how we really make change. And it's not just about the community of our office, but it's a community of all the lives that have been impacted by doing things the right way and doing things differently. Chris, having a mentor was so helpful. It truly allowed me to live a better life. Thanks, buddy. So if anyone else has any questions or they would like to speak with me, like I said, the Calendly link that's in the chat box, you'll see it right there. It's marked from Patrick. That will allow you to, I'm going to actually put it in here as well. I just put the offer in the chat box. So to make it really easy, you're able to just click and that will take you directly to Calendly. But if not, you can always give us our office a call directly and we'll be happy to help you. Jessica also put my information in the chat. My email is sam@fixedbodygroup.com. So you have me forever as a resource. Even if I don't see or speak with you this week, don't lose that email. I hope everyone has an amazing night. Thank you for spending your evening with me. And I look forward to speaking with each and every one of you and getting to learn your story. I hope you have an amazing and a great night.